चलो उनके वाला पता चले। हेलो एवरीवन, आवाज क्लियर है? Good afternoon, everyone. I hope this screen is clear to you all. So welcome to you all, Black Diamond Public School. in-house training program. Today topic is stress management. Before going to further detail about this topic, first of all, I know you all aware about what is stress. So in this session, we have to learn which kinds of stress we are really has involving in our surrounding and how we have to deal with these situations, whatever we surrounded by the stress. So I hope this session will be beneficial. Whatever situation you would like to manage regarding the stress and stress. So being a teacher, it is very important to learn how we can deal with any kinds of situation which are really involved with the stress. So in this session, first of all, we have to know what is stress. So simply we can define it. Stress is a what? We can define as our mental, physical, emotional and behavioral reaction to any perceived demands or threat. In simple manner we can say whatever situation arises with our mental probabilities and physical, emotional and behavioral, so these all are the common perspective related to stress. So being a teacher, whenever we have to enter in a classroom, then these kinds of the stage of stress, categories of stress through which we have to deal with situation among the students. If we really would like to deal with these situations, whatever rises in a class related to a stress, then first of all we have to know which kinds of categories of stress here. Is it mental? Is it physical? Is it emotional? Is it behavioral? So first of all we have to recognize categories of stress, because if we have an idea which kinds of stress this is, then in this situation we can easily deal with the stress whatever created in any situation. That's why first of all if we have to know which kinds of stress different kinds of people have and how they can capable, they can handle such kinds of situation related to stress. If I talk about the stress response, then really a human being may be involved through the physical response, behavioral response, mental response, emotional response. Then first of all, we have to aware what is physical, behavioral, mental and emotional stress. So first of all, we have to know what are these. If I talk about the first of all physical stress, so being a human being, we all have to aware whatever problem rises with our physical bodies, these are always related to our physical aspect of stress. Okay, but if I talk about the situation related to physical stress in a classroom, then how we can deal with this situation. Suppose that you entered in a class and or one student having problem of physical stress, then how we can as a deal with this kinds of situation for relieving the student's problem, a student's stress. So in this situation, first of all, we have to ask that student ki which kinds of problem do you have? Why are you suffering? What kinds of problem do you have? So in this situation, what we have to do in this situation? First of all, ask them, and first of all know ki which kinds of stress level, stress categories related to him. So if I talk about the physical stress, then here it is very important. One of the very important stage of stress under which we can recognize condition like as the suppose the stomach pain, suppose that, and any other illness regarding their physical body. Then in these situations we have to deal according to whatever problem rises with him. Okay, so it's totally depends on the whatever which kinds of situation related to their body illness, their mind illness. So we can't involve it. Only by say we can say कि if any kinds of as a situation rises with their body aspects, in these situations first of all we have to give idea कि how we can as a we can as a provide relieving facility for such kinds of HF. Suppose that a student having a stomach pain, then what we can do in this situation? Because if any situation related to such kinds of as activities, then absolutely all class become as a disturb. So in this condition, first of all has we recognize their problem, and according to their problem we have to provide as whatever as necessary steps we have to take, I have to take, and according to their has a resolving problem, first of all has to try to has a give relieving steps for such kinds of a student. Thereafter has a easily we can tackle their problem. And if I talk about the next category, mental stress, whatever is the name mentioned here, mental, it's totally related to mind actually. That means headache. We can say headache. Being supposed that most of a student having such kinds of problems related to their whatever situation related to their assignment, related to their related to their questioning, whatever situation which are has create tensional, which are responsible for has to generate different kinds of stress or problem related to their mindset. So in this condition, whatever situation whichever has a problem those kinds of a student facing, these are related to their mental stress. Mental stress totally related to their mind activities, their thinking, whatever has a their really has a feeling and anxiety. So these kinds of situations related to mental stress. So in this condition, first of all we have to aware about their problem, which kinds of problem they have, and according to their problem, first of all after the awareness of their problem, first of all try to give such kinds of as a feedback, such kinds of as a resolution which are really relevant for them. Suppose that one of student having assignment problem, and they try to do assignment very carefully, but they haven't idea ki how we can as a handle such kinds of situation, how we can as a we have to prepare assignment. Then what they can do in this situation? We have to has allow them any relieving steps through which they can has submit their assignment according to whatever as the steps they know. So that means कि first if such kinds of anxiety related to any kinds of a student, then try to has recognize, and after recognition of their mental problem, please try to give relevant solution by which they can has a handle that situation easily. And after I say that, it may be possible if they feel get free from such kinds of anxiety, then they are easily handle any kinds of situation related to such kinds of activity which are really has a related to their mind. And if I talk about the social stress, next category social stress, then in this condition I can say कि involving, that means groupism. If particular any student having the groupism and they are involving their surrounding, then in these situations there are so many as a thought, there are so many activities related to any particular. So in this condition what we have to do in these conditions, first they I have to give such kinds of what have to say? Okay, then in this situation what we have to do, I have to provide such kinds of categories of tackling situation in the groupism through which they can tackle whatever the thought generate in their group, whatever has the situation generate in their group, they can they can tackle easily. So which kind, if we has a really provide such kinds of as a steps, we can we provide any kinds of as a resolving such kinds of problem, then they can face any challenges in group. Suppose that in a class we provide as a homework all whole class, then in this condition group of a student, most of a student having the idea ki how we can solve such problems, but most of a student having ki no, what I have to do in this condition, they try to has a interact among interact their group, and they try to ask ki how we have to has a deal with these kinds of situation. So in this condition what happened, most of a student has a try to has a cause their solution, but has a most of a student haven't idea ki how to deal with these such kinds of situations. So in these situations what we have to do, we have to provide relevant steps ki how they can has a get resource of solving such kinds of as a questions, such kinds of problem through by the help of group, by the help of has their has particular friends, and by the help of whatever involved it either in their environment, either there has in a family, and either anyone has who can help him. So such kinds of as involving of the has a situation, try to has a help remove their stress of social stress. Social stress generally has a totally related to relation. Relation that means ki relation that means ki how they are attached to each other among the two and more than two persons, and how they are handling the situation among the such kinds of people, such kinds of students, such kinds of environment involving. So these kinds of activities which are really has involved to any kinds of situations in their groupism, it's are totally related to their stress of social, yeah, social stress. And finally we can categorize the stress in financial problem, really has related to most of people, not any common, but most of people having the same condition. Suppose that ki most of a student having the choice to purchase any kinds of as a particular books, notebook, and whatever they would like to use for their as a study, use for their as a facilities. In this condition most of time what happens ki most of as a family are not as a not capable to bear their financial whatever as they those kinds of a student demand. So in these situations what happens ki they always feel the lack of their as a resources. But as a in this condition what we have to has what we have to give as a manageable situation. In this situation we have to has a give as a feedback like as the has a relevant resource ki you haven't need to worry, whatever resources you have all are as a good, all are as a relevant, only you have to carry on ki whatever you have to prepare what you have to has a use relevant has a relevant material and component all are sufficient. You haven't has a need to worry, all should be branded, all should be related to same one, doesn't matter. So we can has to remove such kinds of stress by helping him for giving any kinds of as a helpful back feedback, whatever they can manage their stress. So in this condition, these are the has a stress of has a stage of a stress which are really involved as a all one, but particularly if I talk about the students, in these conditions most of a student having the different categories of a stress. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to manage their situations according to whatever as a we would like to share, whatever we has a whatever has a their problem related to. So according to their situation, please first of all try to recognize, and according to your awareness, please provide such kinds of relevant as a feedback, relevant as a idea, relevant as a resolution through which they can handle their stress, because a stress is very has a causing effect of has a affect their has a performance, there has a most of things whatever related to him. So it's a very important to everyone. So very important to everyone ki please resolve their situation according to need. Just a minute, I am providing you link, please try to fill up. Have you got it? Now we have to go for further information related to a stress management. So here it is very important is to mention out about the stress management. What is importance of a stress management? If I talk about the stress management refers to focusing human efforts for maintaining healthy body and mind capable of better withstanding a stressful situation. That means whatever situation related and involved they are, how they can handle their situation. It's a totally depends upon the whatever as a situation idea idea to handle. It depends upon the stress management capability. If you really would like to free from and would like to enjoy your situation, then all has a mind all situations. First of all, you have to know okay, how to deal with these situations, and how do you have to manage your stress. And next we can say कि a small amount of stress have the positive effect, and they help us stress ourselves to new level. In this point, it is very clear कि if a small amount of stress I have, then we can use it for our better relevant better approach of new level. Next, and highest level of stress over the prolonged periods needs to be managed. But if we have high level of stress, then in this condition we have to manage the what? In this condition we have to manage our stress. Suppose that what is as a main categories, main has a difference कि a small amount of stress and high level of stress. High level of stress, that means कि if you are really involved to high level of stress, then in this condition you are not capable to do your whatever as a activity you would like to perform. But if you have a small amount of stress, then you can has to tackle that situation very easily. Next, a stress well managed can help one view events and situation as challenges and contributes in the growth of individual. Okay, if you have an idea to as a manage how to deal as a stress, then in this condition what you can do, you can as a contributes growth of your particular yourself. You can as a you can as a go through your development, and you can deal any kinds of situation which are really has a stressful to you. And next, the unnamed stress leads to anxiety and sorrow, resulting in ill status of mental and physical health. If you really has a, if you haven't idea which kinds of stress we are really involved, then in this condition, what happen in this condition, we can have a falling ill, and in through which we can feel very has a low, like in the condition of mental activity, in the condition of physical activity. So first of all, we have to aware about our stress, and then we should have the idea ki how we can deal with the stress, whatever stressful situation. If we really have an idea to stress management, then what which kinds of benefit behind it? If I talk about the physical health, then if we have an idea to stress management, then our physical health gets better, more energy and stamina has a develop, and next emotional stabilize, positive attitude, hopeful and happier. That means if we have an idea to manage the stress, then we have to have a handle with our has a health and our stamina. We can manage our mental anxiety. That means we can develop our positive attitude, and we can really go through the whatever situation has arises, doesn't matter, we can really has a develop ability to focus, improve, and able to learn and achieve whatever we would like to achieve. So these are the has manageable situation. If we have an idea, then I say we can get such kinds of benefits. Okay, but one of the most has a notable point, not all stress is bad. How we can say this? Because if we really has an idea ki which stress is good and bad, then we can have to go through ki whatever stress rise doesn't matter. Then how we can categorize? So first of all, we can say here the categories of all stress in particular manner. So when we have to go through distress and stress, if we really would like to categorize in simple manner of stress, then stress having the major two categories, which are distress and eustress. Then first of all, we have to learn what is distress. The distress is a continuous experience of feeling overwhelmed, oppressed, and behind in our responsibilities. It is the all encompassing sense of being imposed upon the difficulties with no light at the end of the tunnel. That means distress totally related to your depression. Okay, whatever an anxiety we are facing, whatever is the situation we are really has a lacking with, it's these kinds of has a situation which kinds of has a stress source, distress. Distress totally related to has a situation you are really involved, but you haven't idea okay, how we can overcome such kinds of situation. Okay, so these kinds of activities known as distress. But if I talk about the stress, the stress is the other form of the stress that is positive and beneficial. We may feel challenged, but the resource of the stress are opportunities that are meaningful to us. Okay, your stress help provide us with energy and motivation to meet our responsibilities and achieve our goals. Okay, but if we have an idea to involve with the stress, but we have an idea okay, how we can get benefit from such kinds of a stress, then in this situation of a stress is known as your stress. If I look at here, we can have a we can have a take examples ki how we can have a differentiate between stress and distress. You stress as people, if I have to categorize ki most of us suppose that most of people having idea ki how to deal with their stress doesn't matter, but most of people haven't idea. Then in this, only due to has the managing of a stress or not managing of a stress, we can have a get both kinds of stress, eustress and distress. What are features of eustress? If some people involved with eustress, some students are involved with eustress, then they have positive stress. Okay, they can involve with short term, feels exciting, motivates, improve their performance. Examples के if I talk about examples, starting a new job or a school, new class, that means any particular new starting, it may be a stress, but has a, this gives a stage of eustress. But if I talk about the distress, that it's a, as a we can as a denoted by negative stress, short term, long term, cause and anxiety. That means in simple manner we can say कि by the help of your stress we can get positive stress. That means कि we can get benefit. But if I go through the distress, then it gives negative stress. We can't handle this situation, we can't get any kind of beneficiary. Okay, there are several examples we can see here. Okay, suppose that you lost someone, you really has fell ill, you seriously injury or illness. So these kinds of activities cause distress. Then now how we can deal with this stress. If we really would like to handle the stress, then first of all we have to identify a stressor, which kinds of has the components related to a stress. Then how we can has to define a stressor, situations, activities and relationships that cause trauma to one physical, emotional or psychological shape. So these kinds of a component is known as a stressors. That means a stress causing agent is known as a stressor. Okay. And if we really go through the example of a stressor, so it may be involving anywhere. It may be involving a school, workplace, family, relationship, legal activities, financial activities, health and illness, environment, living situation. So these are the activities which are causing effect of a stress. What is the negative effect of a stress? If I talk about the negative effects of a stress, it's harm our physical health. That means कि we can lose and gain our health. Unexpected hair loss. Okay, heart हार्ट पेन बोल सकते हैं, वी कैन से हार्ट पेन, हाई ब्लड प्रेशर, इमोशनल स्ट्रेस. In the condition of emotional stress, mood swing, always as a feel and anxiety, can lead to depression, can also lead to unhealthy strategies. Okay, we can go through the wrong activities, bad activities like is the alcoholic, drugs, etc. Then how we can have say reduce their stress? So there are several suggestions to for reducing stress. First, find a support system. Okay, find someone to talk to about your feelings and experiences. It is very important. Most probably it happened कि most of us students who are really related to their class, most of time it happens if you ask any question in a class, then most of a student having idea, having knowledge, but they wouldn't like to share which kinds of answer I have to answer or not. But as I know, teachers know that a student having capability to answer, but they wouldn't like to share. Then why? What's the reason behind it? Then in this condition, we have to have to give him support system. You have to carry on. You have to have whatever as the situation involved with you doesn't matter. I am always standing with you. Please carry on. It either it may be as a wrong or right doesn't matter. Please as a answer this question. That means if you really has to give the support system such kinds of a student, then they really has to motivate and they try to share their problem, share their has to, answer. And in this condition, what happen? Whatever stress they are really has to involved, then in this condition they feel very comfortable and their stress become reduced. Next, change your attitude. Okay, if you really would like to focus on reducing a stress, then in this condition, first of all, you have to work with change your attitude. That means find other ways to think about a stressful situation. Okay, did most of people having this in such kinds of thinking, whatever I am doing, that's a good. Whatever I am doing, why people has a thinking like so? Why there has a feedback always has a negative? Then first of all, whatever you are doing doesn't matter. You can carry. Okay, but as a first of all, as a you also has to notify कि whatever I am doing right now, is it really has a beneficial? Yeah, is it really comfortable for everyone? Suppose that if you entered in a class and you would like to answer, you are ready to answer any kinds of situation, you are ready to solve any kinds of questions, it doesn't matter, I know you can solve, but first of all try to have aware कि in this class how many students having the technique, having the idea to understand this method. If this method is not capable for all one, then we have to what, we have to change the method. Because if we really has having the idea to deal with these questions and would like to make understand the student, then it is very important to first of all go through the others mind, that means others other student mind, that means कि first of all know कि which kinds of method they are really friendly, they are really would like to understand. And if you get any these kinds of idea, then you can have to easily tackle the situations and you can make understand all students whatever you would like to share. So then first of all it is very important to get as a stressful stressless. You change your method, you change your attitude, you change your behavior, and try to involve according to situation, whatever you would like to get reaction, you would like to react. Okay, so it is very important to get as a stressless, change your attitude. Next, be realistic. Set practical goals for dealing with situation and solving problem. Okay, suppose that you already has a targeted कि no, when I entered in today in a class, then I have to complete this chapter, I have to complete this portion. It doesn't matter. Be realistic. कि I, it may be कि I can manage all has a questions, all has a whatever has a chapter I would like to has a share in the class. It doesn't matter. Whatever your approach, that's another thing. But when you go through the whole class, then first of all analyze the situation, analyze the whatever is the situation right in a class, analyze the student mind, which kinds of as the situations I would like to create here कि they can has the manage, they can really has the help, they can be among they can be with me and they can handle our has the whatever I am doing here. They really has to enjoy my session. So according to situation, first of all create a environment for involving them, and when you has a really has a create environment like them, then you get your has a approach very realistic, and they can really has you can give the approach to tackle, and they can have you can also has a give the has a best approach to deal with their situations. Okay, so be realistic according to situation. If you have an idea to deal with the situation, then you can has a tackle any situation, any problems according to your requirement. Get organized and take charge. Whatever you would like to has to do in your life, whatever you would like to handle in your life, then first of all plan. That means ki organize ki whatever I have to do for deal such kinds of a student, their problems. Then first of all has to please organize your manner, and then take your has a charge to tackle their problem. Next, take breaks, give yourself me time. That means कि if you really has would like to give beneficiary activities to a student, then it is very important to all, very important to everyone कि first of all has to give breaks and try to analyze yourself, try to analyze your particular self कि how I have to has to go through, if I have done this, if how I can manage, how I can minimize whatever has the situation, right? Then in this condition if you go through, then you are really become stressless and you are easily tackle your problem, and you are also have to have will be helpful for our students problem. Next, take good care of yourself. That means if you have an idea to deal with your particular self, then if you have to be happy, then you can make happy environment. So it is very important to deal with this situation and environment. Please go through your happy environment by helping your happy self. Next, learn to say no. Okay, most of time it happens कि most of situations you are always agree कि no, don't worry, I am there, I am here. It doesn't matter if has a, in such kinds of activities happen to you, you are really involved such kinds of as activities, such kinds of people. Then first of all analyze the whatever statement they are spoken, whatever has the statement they are given, and analyze their statement, and according to a statement you have to answer. Because if you are considerable for every situation, then it may be that all situations are not favorable to you. So it is very important say no, because if you deny in any most of us situations, it may be possible you you really has to really save to such kinds of a stressful situation. Get regular exercise. If you really would like to stress free, then it is very important to give regular exercise. Next, get a hobby, do something different. If you really would like to balance your lifestyle, balance the condition in any environment, it is very important कि first you should try to spend your time with your hobby. If you really has to try to spend your time with your hobby, then you really feel very comfort, and you really has to feel very has a free mind. So such kinds of activities which are really helpful for a stress free living. Next, slow down. That means first of all analyze your situation. First of all know your limits, what I can do, and which are really has a really related to our self, and how I can deal with that situation according to your effort. That means कि please be realistic according to effort. If you know your effort, then you know कि how to deal with this situation. It is very necessary to know about yourself, deal the situations according to your comfortabilities, your effort, your limit. Next, learn to relax. Most of time, most probably it happens that most of people are such kinds of as different kinds of activity. They really get a stress, but in this condition you have to know कि how I have to be relaxed. Okay, other helpful tips, it is very important. What? Changing your perception and expectation. That means कि please reduce your expectation and change your perception. Take your time, take manageable part, realistic, make and prepare a realistic goal, avoid procrastination, set boundaries, don't compromise your values, schedule me time. That means कि please schedule yourself for your particular spending time. Avoid caffeine. That means कि you haven't has a need to do any wrong activities, wrong habit for for get stress free yourself. Okay, and try to relax any situation. Our brain fires electrical waves at the 14 or more cycle a second. There are beta waves are great for the getting tasks done, but not for learning new things. In all whatever statement here doesn't matter. One thing for get stress free. Please try to give yourself so relax, and try to analyze this situation, how to deal with this, deal with the any kinds of environment involving stress. And finally, I can say if you really would like to get stress free, then the key word is balance the situation. Balance the situation means whatever situation you are involved, you are really has to always as a faced, it doesn't matter, because most of situations whatever most of situations they are involved doesn't matter. But if you have an idea, if you have an idea to balance with this situation, then all situations are comfortable. For example, if you involve in your class and whole classes whole classes murmuring very loudly, shouting, whole students are shouting to each other, they are murmuring to each other, they they don't mind whether teacher is available there, teacher is present there or not. After presentation of teacher they are doing so, then in this condition what we can do? Being a teacher, what we can do? First of all, we haven't be worried. First of all, I say please analyze the situation. Why they are doing so? What's the reason behind it? And according to situation, first of all, you have to carry on your has whatever has you a step you would like to take. So according to situation, first of all you analyze and ask to a student why are you doing so. If you didn't don't has to get any kinds of has the answer, any response, then in this condition please go through whatever has the most probably has a situation rise up, and has the according to situation what which kinds of a step I have to carry on. So according to need you have to carry on your steps. In this situation what happened? In this situation, if we really has the idea to analyze the actual situation whatever rising there, then we can get the solution, we can generate the solutions to how to deal with these such kinds of activities. And if you after knowing such kinds of situation, if you really would like to apply your steps there, then it may be possible you are really get a positive response to balance your class, maintain your class, and get calm all students. So first of all, it is very important if you really would like to has a carry any kinds of has a rushed situation, rushed a stressful has a situation, then first of all you have to need aware about the what, aware about the situation where has the origin of situation of a stress where they generate. And when you have an idea to generation of has a stress, then you can easily get a solution ki how to deal with such kinds of stress. If you really would like to calm, relax in your personal life particular, then there are several resources through which we can has a get relaxed. There are as a few listing of as a application through which we can has a go through for our as a stress free life. And these are complete relaxation, guided meditation for happy, stress-free life, and the mindfulness app. Next app is calm, meditate, sleep, relax. And these are the application through which we can has a use our relaxing, how we can get relaxed. So we can use such kinds of application. We can heard different kinds of as a whatever as a vibrations and whatever as a rhythm generate by these kinds of application. We can has to use it for our relaxation, and we can has to always use meditation for get happy ourselves and a stress free life. If we go through the relaxation exercise, it is very most important there are so many different kinds as for getting as exercise, but as two are so major. First is deep breathing, and next visualization. These are the activities of exercise through which we can get calm, we can get a stress free life. If you get a stress, Suppose that you are involved in any situations, whatever rising towards you, it doesn't matter. Then in this condition, please don't be hyper. Okay, before going through the becoming hyper, it is very important to first of all take deep breathing. If you take deep breathing, then it helps to calm yourself. It helps to calm down your has a mental stress, and it helps to you what it helps to you generate level of good level of thinking by which you can get solution. Next, visualization. If you really would like to you are really surrounded by the situation of a stress, then it is very important that please where whatever stress surrounded to you doesn't matter. Try to visualize if I am in this kinds of situation, then which kinds of situations may be helpful for which kinds of situation has really helped to resolve such kinds of activities. So first of all, has to close your eyes, and after closing your eyes, visualize the situation, and as well as try to has try to also has to visualize the solution to which kinds of solutions convenient for such kinds of stress, because when you visualize your has way of has a stressful life, then your mind really works behind it, and your mind having this so many has a comfortable steps to reducing such kinds of stress. So visualization is also one kinds of exercise through which you can get a stress free life. You can get as a different kinds of as a situations various solution, and you can tackle whatever as a situation really has a comfort to according to solve their stress. Either it may related to your mental social and whatever has a stress related to you, then as it is very necessary to visualize your problem, and according to your problem try to as a get visualizing way of solution. So these are the has the important as a important as exercise which are really beneficial for get has a stress free life. So these are the has a stressful as related to a stressful has a steps for us getting a stress free life. If we really has a apply such kinds of activities in our life, then as a really we get has a stressful life. But as a in all conclusion, if you really would like to work on our stress, then as a very it is very important to first of all recognize your stress, recognize your problem, and according to problem has a try to find out the solution, and what which kinds of as a solution is convenient for a stress get a stress free. Then according to convenient solution try to has a apply this for getting a stress free life. And next, if you really has a feel ki my own self particular you feel ki yourself is really has a stressful, then in this condition it is very important to go through the exercise like as the breathing and visualization and meditation one of the has a very calm way to calm way to overcome your situations, overcome your stress, and it really helps to has to overcome which kind of which kinds of has a stress is really involved you are doesn't matter. So meditation really helps to calm down any kinds of situations and tackle with the any kinds of situation, and using of mind for solving such kinds of dealing of the situations of stress. So today's this session related to how we can overcome with the stress and how we can have to manage the stress. I these kinds of if we really has a really we have an idea to deal with the stress management, then we can deal any kinds of situation. Either it may be social, either it may be mental, personal, and whatever. It doesn't matter. So everyone should having the idea ki how to deal with the situations. If you have an idea to deal with the situation, then you are own master to deal with the whatever situation you are involved. This doesn't matter. So today's session is here, over here. That's all. Thank you. I hope it will be as a beneficial to you all. Thanks. Thanks for watching. Okay. Please mention your attendance if anyone left.